What's up, world? This is We Need a Fifth. This your man Mo. Got my man P in the building.
It's good.
Got my man Hill on the line.
Yo, yo.
Fellas, Happy New Year, first of all.
Happy New
Get
Year.
that
Huh?
get that out the way. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy
You know,
2024.
2024, bro.
good to see you in 2024.
Good to see
Um,
you.
let's talk about the NBA a little bit. I want to talk about the Western Conference. Want to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right now, I believe they're sitting 1-2 in the Western Conference, respectively. My first question, I guess, would be: do we think that this is a fluke, or is this something that both of these teams can maintain this position in the West? Because we all came out before the season started. We all thought the Western Conference would be a murderer's row, and that it would be a crucible for most good teams. Um, so, and I don't think any of us had these two teams in the top five, if I'm not mistaken. I think we did have the. I think Hill, you had Minnesota and OKC in your playoff picture, right?
Yes, I had Spurs as well too, so let me off the hook too.
No, but I think we all had them in the playoffs,
Yes,
or at least to play,
just not here.
or at least to play in. But just 1 and 2, nah, nah. I don't think nobody had 1 and 2. That's
yeah, I'm the biggest Anthony Edwards fan. I had him up there. I don't think I had him. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure I did one or two, but I had them ascending.
right, right.
So, do you guys think that this? Let's start with the Minnesota Timberwolves. You bring up Anthony Edwards. They're top of the conference right now. It looks like they figured it out with him and Cat as far as how they can coexist and make it work. Um, Figured it out with Cat and Gobert and how they're gonna do with that. Um, it seems that they're benefiting from being really healthy at this point because it seems none of their major players or their rotational players have suffered any major injuries this season. Knock on wood. Hope that continues to happen. Um, do you think that this is the real thing coming from Minnesota? This is them realizing their real potential, or is this fool's gold? And sooner or later, they're going to come back to reality.
Now let Hill go, and that's his guy. So I'm gonna let Hill go first.
Yeah, I would say for this, they're 25-9. So we're looking at what 39 more games left to prove that this is the real deal. That's a decent sample size. You know what I mean? We're getting close to almost half the season. So there's some realism in the schedule. They've beaten some top-notch so-called contenders. They have it. They established their big two, and the Rudy Gobert were giving them what 4 or 5 first-round picks. Seems to at least help out them having an anchor on defense. But Jaden McDaniel and the emergence of Nas Reed,
Yeah.
they got Shake back there, but Nas Reed and Slow-Mo has actually solidified their bench and sometimes their starting lineup, depending on how they're playing. So they had the components and the experience that what always loses the point guard. They always
Conley,
gives. I feel
Michael
so
Conley,
bad at Mike
Michael.
Conley.
Conley.
But the experience that Mike Conley brings in on late game possessions. I know Anthony Edwards is a go-to guy, but it seems like Mike Conley seems to hit the big shot or the big free throw. So if you
Yeah,
have a common factor with that and Anthony Edwards just keep getting better, I mean, give me the minimum. Give me from the historically horrible run franchise, which they are, give me the first and please the second round. Definitely the first round. Don't get knocked out.
right.
But
Um,
it looks sustainable at least to be within the top 4, which would be a surprise for Minnesota, a pleasant surprise.
yeah, I agree with everything Hill said. Shout out to Nas Reed and Slow Mo. Dirty Jersey did not know that. Both Jersey products. Um, I kind of like Minnesota because I feel like they're kind of like the anti-team, what people have been doing. Like, they're playing with 2 7-footers. They're not trying to copy
Mm,
They're not trying to copy Golden State like the rest of the league and fail miserably.
Mhm.
So I think
mm,
that's working with them. And also, I feel like you alluded to earlier, more like they figured it out. I think they figured it out because they play. Like I don't see a lot of load management. You know what I mean? Like so, I think
mhm.
with those three guys in particular, Gobert, Cat, and Anthony Edwards, they you say they're used to playing with each other at this point. You know what I mean? More than some veteran teams like a Phoenix or a Clippers. Well, the Clippers are figuring out pretty quickly right now, but yeah, I see no reason why they won't have home court advantage once the playoff starts. And I'm saying that knowing it could flip in like a month because the West is that tough. But I think they could hold their ground and stay in that top 4 at least, even if they struggle. I expect them to struggle a little bit, but I think they
Mhm.
could stay in the top 4.
Now, do you think that they need to make any moves before the trade deadline in order to solidify this momentum that they have going forward and solidify their place in the top 3 in the Western Conference?
I would
Or would that be a overreach or, you know,
Yeah, I would. I mean, because you're the number 1 seed. So I would see, who does what in the playoffs, right? Conley is going to do what he does, right? Ant-Man, you want him to get that experience. Cat is actually on low key, like kind of like a veteran at this point. He's been in the league
Mhm.
for a minute, and
mm,
Gobert. So, yeah, I would just. I mean, of course, if it's some great deal, you're not going. You don't take phone calls, but I wouldn't be looking to do nothing major about Minnesota.
okay.
If they can give me, they can find somewhere maybe like a low end bargain spot up 3-point shooter, I would feel a little bit better.
Mm.
I don't know
Okay.
where that would be. If you can give me a
Like a Kyle Korver type of player.
somewhere in that lines, but now maybe on the lines of would Dallas get rid of Curry? You know what I mean? Something that
Mm,
Mm.
could hit somewhere when and Anthony Edwards, because I mean their 3-pointers is Anthony Edwards off the I love how he shoots threes off the dribble.
mhm.
Slow mo is pretty much a set shot, and Cat's a set shot.
Mm.
Um, Conley can hit it as well too, but I think if you have someone that you could just legitimately spot up for an open 3, I think it'll help Minnesota in the playoffs. Clay would be great, of course.
Mm.
But he
Would
has to
he?
middle and then just allow him just to be that is what, since they don't have the youth anymore, that is what I think Minnesota can use and what Clay can use as well too.
Mm. Okay. I didn't expect that. Wow. Okay. Let's go to the Oklahoma City Thunder, guys.
Hmm. Embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, I think this is real. Um that SGA kid is pretty good over there. Do we think that, to my point, is this real with OKC? Do you think that they can maintain the number 2 spot in the Western Conference, or do you think they're gonna fall back down to earth? Similar question.
Yeah, I'm all in on OKC. Like this is my favorite team to watch. My favorite player to watch is SGA now. He's actually past Wemby. Like if I could find SGA, you know what I mean? Like I'm going online to find an OKC game. I think they could maintain it. I have my doubts because of their height or the lack of height,
Mm-hmm.
specifically against Denver. But I think they're like 2-1, 3-1 against Denver.
Mm,
So um, I still think they need to get taller, but the one person that matchup that I'm fearful of was Denver, and they handle Denver easily, consistently.
they, they're all around solid team, man, and they have a nice young I hate to even call him a rookie because he's not a rookie. He got paid last year, last time I heard. Sophomore guy, Chet Holmgren, who's showing out, giving them solid production and giving them a solid presence on defense as well. SGA, what can you say about him? He's a legitimate MVP candidate. He's a problem, and he's put the league on notice. He's here. He's not coming. He doesn't have next. He's here.
Yeah, I mean,
Now it's just
we'll talk about him further down the road, but I've been on phone calls. I think he's cut from that cloth, man. I think he's cut from that cloth. We'll see. I think he's cut from that cloth. 6'6" guard. Yep, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it down the line.
Now, only pitfalls I see is possibly some off the court issues that they may have to deal with Giddey, depending on how his situation shakes out and what becomes of that. But outside of that, just staying healthy, I think they should be able to maintain this momentum. What about you, Hill?
Injuries, always injuries with these guys. I mean, Chet, Kaysen, Jaden. Yeah, it's just gotta be careful. I mean, that's always could always shake up a team, and even Shea could get in it. Besides that, maybe shooting their two best 3-pointers, 3-point guys. I mean, I don't love Lou Dort. If Chet's gonna shoot the three, my question is who's rebounding if he doesn't. And Shea is pretty much his is more playmaking, and then like with Minnesota, I would want someone that would be able to shoot the three a little more fluently. I was praying that'd be Josh, but like you said, the off-court troubles has probably got into his head a little bit. So if they able to free up a shooter as well, or just more development and player personnel to get a shooter within their ranks, then OKC is it, and a backup big. I mean, or do I say a backup big, or maybe a big?
Yeah. I love J-Dub's game, the Jason Will. He's 6'6". It's like a power forward at 6'6". Lou Dort's like 6'4". Giddey's 6'8", but he doesn't play like it. He's more of a perimeter player. So yeah, a backup center, a starting power forward, whatever. They just need height.
Yeah, I see that collision course with OKC being a 4-2, 4-3, or maybe even a 4-1. Depends on how Joker plays. If Joker goes into smart Joker mode, which he is usually, he could foul OKC out. I mean, without taking a shot. They'll live at the line with 18 free throws and just the game plan, just getting them out. I mean, he's stronger than Chet. He's bigger than anyone else. You know what I mean? I know they beat him, but I've seen what that man could do in the playoffs. So you need a 7-footer who's big.
Yeah. Physical.
Yeah, absolutely. But I love OKC. I mean, it's not more you can pretty much say about their talent. They just do it right.
All right. Let's predict where we think these two teams end up come playoff time and then through the playoffs. Hill, I'll start with you.
I think at the all said and done, I think you'll probably have Minnesota in the third spot. You'll have probably Denver in the first, and OKC more likely than not will probably hold on to the two. They'll take the 2 spot over. So I see Minnesota dropping down to the 3.
Okay. P?
Dang, I can't contradict myself. I already said they both. Well, I think I said they both will be in the top 4. Yeah. So I think I got OKC the 3rd and the Wolves in the 4th seed. I think Denver and the Clippers might be the top 2 seeds when it's all
Look
said
at that
and
number
done.
4 spot, right?
Wow.
You see who's in 4 now.
Yeah, the Clippers. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna agree with Hill on this one. where I think OKC has a chance to secure that second spot, and Minnesota will probably fall down to their third spot.
Okay,
Hey
so we're
guys,
believers. I'm sorry, no, we're
hey,
believers then. We're
yeah,
believers.
Yeah,
Everybody.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's just that's the second round matchup with what would that be? Clippers, Denver.
yeah, I guess.
They say who they are then.
Hey, um, want to get into the rookies. We talked a little bit about Chet. Want to talk about? I think the rookie of this year, um, Victor Wembanyama. Are you guys at all disappointed, or disappointed in his rookie campaign so far?
Um,
His last game, 10 for 18, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 blocks versus some guy named Giannis. It could have been it could have been 8 blocks, and he did it in 26 minutes. So if you're disappointed with that, then I'm the wrong person to talk to then.
yeah, I
27
wouldn't.
points, 26
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, I wouldn't say
Oh.
disappointed, but I am a little underwhelmed. It's because I mean it's on record. Like I got him as potentially being the GOAT. You know what I mean? So I'm like anything under 2010, I'm like, what's wrong? You know what I mean? So it's a little underwhelming. I thought he'll be a little bit better, but the flashes that he shows, like I'm not, I'll stand on it. I still think his potential to be the GOAT. You know what I mean? Especially seeing that game against Giannis. Like, I mean, you're going against arguably the best player in the league, or top 5 easily. And he held his own. For not bad for a 19, 20-year-old kid.
Yeah. And 19 and 10. So we're 1 point off.
Yeah.
I think what gets me is the 29% from 3-point range. He's 10 for 18 from the field, and he went 2 for 8 from 3 nights. So that's 6 shots, which is 3 points, which he made. So he only missed 2 shots, really, going from the 2-point range. That should just ring a light bulb in his head or Pop's head to stop from shooting threes.
Yes, someone needs to send him the tape of AD, Embiid, and Joker from this year, because especially like Embiid and AD, they rarely shoot threes now, and they've been more productive this season because of it. Because there's no one that could deal with them in the paint. Even Joker, who's a pretty good 3-point shooter, when it's money time, I know he hit the buzzer beat against Golden State and everything, but he just goes to bully ball. You know what I mean? And I think Wemby has to really take that out of that page out of those guys' books and just be more efficient. Like to Hill's point, you got to cut down those threes and just be a more efficient player. You know what I mean? Like we'll get into the people passing the ball and all that, but some of the slays, like those, to me, those are bad shots.
Horrible shots.
Those are just bad shots. You letting the defense off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to what Pete said. You take the 3-point out of his game at Milwaukee. You won't talk about efficiency. He shoots 85% from the field if he didn't shoot any threes.
Joker like that's kind of like the tier that Joker's on right now. Like he's just not missing shots because every shot's in the paint.
He missed 4 shots in 4 games?
All right. So I mean, like I said, I think he has GOAT potential. I stand on that. But there are like his rebounds is coming along. He's up to 10 rebounds a game, rebounding, shot selection, and I think he needs to become a better playmaker. I'm harsh on him because I see greatness. You know what I mean? So 19 and 10 is a hell of a rookie year, but I see him being so great that to me that's not enough. It's not.
Agreed. It's the habit. I think it's the habits. I agree with you. Bad habits out of there.
And see, for me, I guess I see that as his environment that he's in right now, because he has a team that is not ready to play with him, or at least it doesn't seem like it when you look at them on the court. He doesn't have a legitimate point guard. He got someone that's trying out the position for the first time this year. And I think that matters. And I know we've spoken off the air about how Pop is utilizing him and how Pop is coaching the team around him and our issues with that, as far as I think Pop needs to be a little bit more forceful and telling his teammates, "Hey, he's the meal ticket. Get him fed. He's the one that we trying to fatten up. He needs to score. He needs to get the ball." I think too many of his teammates think they're going to be the hero and that they're the solution, and failing to realize that, hey, he's the answer to all the questions that's being asked on the court. And it's like somehow, some way, you have to get him involved. He shouldn't have possessions where he's not part of that offense. And I think he suffers from having a traditional point guard that says, "Hey, I'm going to get you the ball down there, big fella. Get down there. Let's go to work." Or a point guard that says, "Let me get the big fella started, and let me get him started with something easy. Let me get him a layup or alley oop, just to get him warmed up, and then hey, we can work on the pick and pops and eventually get to the 3 point line. But let me start you off like this and get that momentum running." I think he's one of those players I think would benefit from, like I said, a traditional point guard, and not somebody uber talented. I think him and Avery Johnson, right? If Avery Johnson came back and you were able to give him his NBA career back and plant him in San Antonio right now, I think Avery Johnson and Wemby would be Spurs in the playoffs. Now, I don't think that he'll win a championship with just him and Avery, but I think this team would be a hell of a lot better.
No, they
And
definitely
because
need like a talent. I agree with you. They definitely need like a talent upgrade. I mean, they were a bad team last year, so they definitely need a talent upgrade. I agree, but again, I'm harsh on him, man. Like I think his talent is so transcendent. I feel like he has to make that happen. I know Pop is an all-time coach and all of that. You know, I think he gets up to Wemby. He has to have that mentality. Like Pop, if you're not going to tell him, I will.
yeah, and I think his age, I think he has some of that in him. As stated by Hill with the game against Giannis, I think against most of the superstars, he's shown up. When his first game against LeBron and Joe, he's shown up. And but you, as a coach, I think Pop needs to tell him, "I need you to show up with that same energy every game, and you know what I mean, and don't let up. That's that competitive fire that you had against Giannis. We got to see it against Charlotte Hornets. We got to see, you know what I mean, got to see that against the teams that, hey, don't bring the national spotlight, but that's growing pains, and I think he's going to grow into that, and they'll figure it out.
I think what you're seeing also is just, I think just Pop just being honest. He said if this kid is going to be right out the gate, super transcending, and he leads us to wins, we'll see what we can do. Now I just think they're auditioning who's going to be here with him next year. Outside of Devin Vassell, I think everyone is just playing, see who's going to. You might have where 10 players are not even here next year. So I think these two players are the ones that are definite. And then Pop is just saying, hey, go out there, don't get hurt. We'll see what you're doing, and then we're developing the big man. I mean, this is his first go-round that he's seen against the league. Now we're getting to the All-Star game. Now he gets to see these players differently and reevaluate how he's moving. So I think they're moving with his development in that manner. Now, granted, you're saying like if he's such a transcendent star, what type of development he needs? Quite a bit. There's times where you say he's above his level, and then I see him at times doing a Rudy Gobert moving in circles, like unable to locate the ball. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just it's youth or the game is just moving too fast. But there's a time where he gets overwhelmed in these things.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing to me, but at the same time, like I said, he just turned 20. And 21 to 25, come talk to me. But for now, I can understand how it could seem underwhelming. I don't want to say disappointing, but I can't. To me, it's projection. I find the game much easier for him through what I'm seeing, which he doesn't see yet. You know what I'm saying? Like him spotting up at the 3-point line. Like you might get frustrated in the fact that you are 7'4", but there's a reason why God made you 7'4". Throw the ball towards the basket, just drop it down. If you can open up your scoring once you're dominating from inside out. Once you're unstoppable down there, you can do whatever. Once you're putting up numbers where you're beating teams, you got this lead in which you have the height, and so what? People get tired of it. Don't let people get into your head and saying that's all he can do. You're 7'4" for a reason, and that should be where they focus with Wemby. You know what I'm saying? From the free throw line and anything above that is just, I mean, a floater is about a 9-foot shot, which no one's blocking.
Right. It worked out pretty good for Shaq.
Right. Right. His touch, it was just, he's the tallest, he's the strongest. He plays volleyball with himself, and he's the tallest guy in the court. Do it. I just think that just allow him to have his free reign. Go ahead, shoot threes, do what you want to do. And then hopefully they rein him in next year and say, this is what we need to do. And these are the players that we're going to have around you, and pretty much say goodbye to this team that's here now. I mean, I think this is just going to be a wash.
Yeah, and I think to your point, I think he has to be more comfortable with being a bully on the court. Hey, when you're that tall, you bully cats. If to your point, if I get anywhere near the free throw line or lower, hey, that's barbecue chicken. Cordon bleu, and he has to get more comfortable with just using his size as a weapon and being a bully with it.
It's early. He's too nice right now. I see it. He defers paint shots, layups to open guys. Guys are older. You got Keldon. You got Vassell. You got people who still want their sides. Jimmy McBuck. I mean, it comes to a point where they did it for Kobe. You just got to clean house and just say, like, these two guys, this is your team. If Kobe and Shaq aren't handling the ball, then I don't want to hear any disgruntled people in here. You know what I'm saying? You might have to move a Monty to get Curry to where Curry is. You know what I'm saying? Like, who will Monte Ellis? It's Monte Ellis. The guy can average 25 points a game. Yeah, you wouldn't have Steph Curry if you kept Monte Ellis. You know what I mean? You just have to let it probably just play itself out to where he doesn't have to make that decision of deferring to someone. Upper management will say, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And then you have your Tim Duncan, or you have your, David Robinson was unbelievable that he was able to say, I'm in the twilight of my career. I won some championships. I'll defer to this guy and still give you 19 points or 20 points and dominate in such a way. It takes a heck of a person to say, I'm going to give up the reins to a 20-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. Right about that. Hey guys, let us know what you guys think. Do you think Wembanyama has been a disappointment? Has this rookie campaign been underwhelming? Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like and that notification button so you know when the next video comes out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, I read an article the other day about Caitlin Clark. And the article is basically asking the question, should she stay or should she go? And I want to ask that to the panel. And not just for Caitlin Clark, but for Angel Reese. And I know I'm going to jack up this child's name. Fly J Johnson, Juju, out in USC, Becker's out in UConn. Should these young women who are making pretty good NIL money right now, or at least have pretty good NIL valuations. I believe the lowest of the bunch is Caitlin Clark at around 750,000. Should she forego her next year of eligibility at Iowa to go to the WNBA?
What's the most you can make it in the WNBA?
I think on a rookie contract around 74,000 a
Oof.
year. A year.
And she's
Well,
making how much for the NIL?
About 750,000.
oof.
And this is a decision that has to be made. Like,
I
Well,
I mean, and you know what? I'm going to be fair to the WNBA, and I'm going to give her NIL money will follow her into the WNBA.
will it though?
So it
Will it though? Will she be as prominent if she goes to, say, the Chicago Sky? Will State Farm still make these commercials at that point? That's the question.
yeah, and that was one of my questions. I'm not totally sold on them not being able to carry over their NIL marketing opportunities to the WNBA. But what I'm not sold on is them just settling for a bump of just $75,000 a year. I think that Caitlin Clark, and let's just talk about Caitlin Clark. She's on course to break the NCAA women's scoring record set by Kelsey Plum. She's on course to break that before she hits the March tournament. So you're saying that if she breaks that record, she can't get an extra $75,000 from somewhere? Somebody won't want to give her an extra $75,000 to say she associates herself with them and their brand.
I mean,
And
I think it's
then,
mhm.
with March Madness coming up, she can also increase her money depending on what type of run she has in March, to set herself up to earn more money to add on to that 750 total by next year.
Yeah, I
So
feel like
she could,
you're answering the question. She'll make more money in college,
yeah.
right?
Uh,
Like that's pretty much it. Like she'll her what do you call it? Her Q rating or whatever, her popularity, it'll be higher in college than it will be in the WNBA, more than likely. Because look, what besides Sue Bird and Candace Parker, what WNBA player has like commercials?
yeah. Agent
Bailey and
Wilson.
SQ, right? Maybe an SQ, Bailey.
LSU,
I missed it. Which one was that?
She
State
was on
Farm,
the
I think.
basketball court and she had did something.
I think
Not,
she.
okay, it sounds like it's not the most memorable commercial,
No,
but
it's not.
and
She had one, and then she had one for her sneaker.
like Sue Bird has more commercials than Breanna Stewart, who we argue is one of the top two players in the league. Sue Bird doesn't even play anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and she's in New York and
Yeah.
she's established. She won 4 championships at UConn, 2-time WNBA champion. A retired player has more commercials than her.
Um, I've always stated it. You guys know I'm a fan of the WNBA, fan of women's college basketball, and I've always stated that women's college basketball does a much better job in marketing their product than the WNBA has ever done, marketing their product. I think that's one of the weaknesses of the WNBA. It's marketing their players and marketing their product. Um, it should be a year-round activity for them. And too often it's limited to their 2 or 3 month season. And it's like I don't know. I think Caitlin Clark would gain more popularity staying in Iowa than going on to any WNBA franchise, whether that be the Sparks, the Liberty, or the Connecticut Sun, whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. I think the WNBA has a marketing problem, and they don't know how to market their product or their players efficiently or to the maximum benefit.
Why would Angel Reese give a $1.7 million for $75,000?
And like I said, she wouldn't be giving it up. She could take that to the WNBA, and she would add in $75,000
Yeah, but
to
she made $1.75 million in college because
Yeah,
of her.
her salary, that's what she'll be paying in taxes.
Yeah, right. That's I mean, she's taking what she made in college to the NBA, which is proverbial black hole for marketing for women's basketball. You know what I mean? Like that money was, like you said, in college. She won't. I can't see her having those. It's success that she made in college and her personality. That's what got her that money. You know what I mean? So the success in the WNBA, even if you win, they just don't know how to market their players. Why would they want to spend advertising dollars?
Right.
And someone that's probably going to end up on a mid-tier WNBA team because if she gets picked high.
And we're assuming success in the WNBA, right? I'm thinking of NBA players who've had great college careers and were like, household names in college and got to the pros and kind of like this. They could have even had good, decent careers, but they were nowhere as popular as they were in college. So it's not even just the WNBA's marketing; it could just be you not that girl at the next level. You know what I mean? Like Angel Wilson, Breonna Stewart is out here. So, you think of a Christian Laettner or a Tyler Hansborough, if there was NIL money, they would have been killing it in their time. Then when they got to the NBA, people would have forgot about them.
Interesting. It's an interesting topic, man. I think, especially with the WNBA collective bargaining agreement coming up in 2025, I think it leaves a lot of conversation to be had about how the WNBA wants to go forward, how they want to incentivize young players, young stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and to totally buying into the WNBA brand and wanting to be part of the logo.
Top four players getting $74,000 is just a bad start.
Yeah,
from an optics, point of view.
And it doesn't get much better for their max
dollars,
and for them, it doesn't get much better for their max contracts because their max contracts have a cap of $232,000 a year. That's the most. That's a max contract in the NBA, WNBA. Yeah. And you have some of your stars having to take pay cuts in order to get, like Stewie took a pay cut to go to the Liberty. She's only getting paid, I think, $132,000 a year. But hey, hit us up on social media. Tell us what you guys think. Do you think Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, these college athletes, college stars in the women's basketball game, should they make the next step to the WNBA, or should they wait for the next collective bargaining agreement to come through and see if they can get a little bit more money in their starting contracts? Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming through. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, the college football championship is 2 days away. We got Michigan versus Washington. We got Penix Jr. and Harbaugh. um, First, let me ask you guys: did you catch the semifinals? Michigan versus Alabama game, or the Washington versus Texas game?
I was in and out in both. Florida State didn't make it. It is ruined my interest.
That's when you had P. Florida
uh,
State didn't make it. That's all you know.
I was in and out. I'm happy for Penix. You know what I mean? I'm a Penix guy, so I'm happy for Penix. But and I'm hope Washington wins it all because he didn't win the Heisman somehow. But yeah, college football, boy.
How about you, Hill? You catch it any of the semifinals games?
Yeah, both. Absolutely.
Okay. What you think of Michigan and their performance against Alabama?
Tough late game heroics.
Mm.
Disappointing Alabama's quarterback. Defense though. Michigan's defense stepped up to the plate. So, and like I said, the quarterback was late. He was poised late for that late drive to send it to overtime. So that was a pretty game. And Penix, he's been on that guy the entire year.
Yeah.
And
That
guy throws lasers. I mean, he's making he's making alumni like Warren Moon and
who
else went there? Brunel?
Mark Brunel, I believe. That might be the list.
Browning too.
That might be the list. Yep.
So he's making them look good, the alum. So that I'm hoping Penix, but I would be sorely disappointed for Harbaugh not to win a championship. Not personally. I mean, I just think he needs to show and improve and give me some sort of hardware.
I got P. Like Hill said, you've been talking about Penix all year, and I saw the kid play. He throws a pretty pass, man. Pause. He's a problem. And yeah, I can see why you're a fan now. Definitely.
He's just a good player. It was a lot of good quarterbacks this year in college football. Guy at LSU actually won the Heisman. Florida State, Florida State. So there were a lot of good quarterbacks. But I just thought, I think maybe being up in Washington might have actually hurt him a little bit. You know what I mean? Not being further down in California or somewhere else, but he's getting his just due now, so it's good to see.
Yeah. Well, he's going against the best Michigan quarterback of all time, JJ McCarthy.
According to his present coach, right? Yeah. Tom Brady that didn't happen. It's a figment of your imagination.
Hey, he got a better record than Tom had at Michigan.
I hope he's getting that NIL money.
JJ McCarthy, go for it, boy.
No, he's solid though. He's a solid quarterback. I don't want to kill him.
Drive, bro. Heck of a drive.
He's a solid quarterback.
And Corum too, the running back.
Oh yeah, they got a team. Again, it's Michigan. Like anytime Michigan, Ohio State, I expect them to. They're recruiting just crazy.
Okay, we talked about what we like, the players we like, the coaches we like. Now give me a winner, fellas. Who y'all got?
Oh, Huskies.
Michigan or Washington?
Huskies for me, easy.
Yeah, I'm going Huskies on this one.
Wow. And I can be superstitious at times, fellas, when it comes to sports. And I feel like I don't want to jinx the Huskies by picking them too, because that's where I was gonna go. So I think I'm gonna be contrarian right now. Give the Huskies the best chance to win. I'm gonna go Michigan.
Okay.
I think Harbaugh gets his team prepared to go out in style and head on out to the NFL. I think there's an NFL job waiting for him
Oh
somewhere.
God, no. Oh God, no.
I think there's an NFL job waiting for him, and it might be even be
A
in
couple.
New
I
England.
mean, the way they carousel it, sure, a couple.
Yeah.
You know. All right, all right. And P, let me ask you this: do you agree with Hill that Harbaugh has to win this? That this is a must win for him?
A must win. Um,
For all the accolades and praise that we put on to him as a head coach.
well,
Do
that's
you think
y'all. That's
We
not
do.
we. You know, that's not we. That's
Them.
y'all. You know,
Them.
if he loses, wouldn't this be like this is his peak, right? College or
this is what?
NFL? No, because he went to the Super Bowl and lost.
Right.
So he's going to the championship game and lose. I wouldn't say it's a disappointment. I just, I'm not wishing. Of course, I pick Washington. I don't have no animosity or something against Jim Harbaugh. But if he loses, then he loses. I didn't. He
Par
doesn't
for
walk
the
on water for
course.
me. He doesn't walk on water for me. I never seen him walk on water.
And Hill, you think it's a must win?
Yeah, he's been there too long. He has to give me something. He really does. I mean, he's giving me an undefeated season in the championship. This will stamp him for me.
All right, guys, y'all know the drill. Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Let us know who you guys think is going to win the national championship. Will it be Michigan? Will it be the Washington Huskies? Hit us up. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like and notification button so you know when the next video is coming through. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at weedthefifth@gmail.com. Fellas, you guys know I don't really deal with the NFL that much, but playoff season is almost here. And I'm hearing there's a tight race for the last couple of wild card spots in the NFL. We got the Colts versus the Titans today. No, the Colts versus the Texans today.
Yes, sir.
For one of the last available spots in the AFC. Possibly a AFC South crown. Depending on if the Jaguars lose or not. What other matchups are we looking at out there?
That Miami Buffalo. That's what I'm
Yeah,
there
Bills
for.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
And
I'm looking.
Buffalo, and
Go ahead, Mo.
Buffalo, to be clear, is in a position of, hey, they win, they're in. They lose, they're out of the playoffs, right? Am I
They
right with
win, they
that?
clinch the AFC East.
Yeah.
Okay. But if they lose, they don't get to the playoffs at all, right? Or are they
No,
still
they
in the
still they
playoffs
They just
regardless?
Steelers lose, Jaguars lose.
Yeah, there's some
Okay.
tiebreak. There's still some tiebreaker
Yeah,
situations
they
that they
still can
going
get in
on
there.
somewhere.
Steelers lose, Jags lose. It's a way to get in.
Okay. Who do we think is going to be able to make it in? I know you guys are telling me a whole bunch of teams are on that line, straddling that line between in the playoffs and out of the playoffs. Who do you guys think going to ultimately get into the playoffs?
Well, I'm pulling for the Texans.
So am I.
Okay.
CJ Stroud. So am I.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the Texans. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the kid play at quarterback, CJ Stroud. So, Miami Buffalo. I'm going Miami. I remember, I remember some. I'm not like a social media guy, but I remember some tweets. So I don't really rock with Josh Allen at all.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm going with Miami. Yeah, people forget quickly.
Only reason I'm going Buffalo is that they could wreck an AFC.
Mm.
So and Miami, I feel they're gonna find their way in anyway. But just having,
I think they're in regardless, right? It's just whether they can capture the 2 seed or 3 seed.
Right. They win, they're in.
Mm.
So
Okay.
they
What
win
about
when
the
they win the title, but they're gonna be in anyway.
what about the NFC? I know Dallas is in a position to capture the NFC East crown.
With the Eagles win.
Okay.
Win. Dallas and Eagle loss and Dallas wins. They're good.
And
The Eagles would have win and Cowboys lost, and the Eagles are winning.
what do you think's going to happen in that NFC South with the Bucks, Atlanta Falcons, Saints, all vying for that last spot? I guess.
Which is the yuck conference.
Yeah, isn't this like pick me? I want to be the sacrificial lamb in the
Yeah, this is
playoffs. Or,
so disgusting.
yeah,
The Falcons win and the Buccaneers lose. They'll clinch the NFC division below 500, might add.
Mm. Wow. All right. Who are your favorites in each conference? Who do you guys predict will make it?
Oh.
Let's say to the conference championship and then eventually to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Let's
well,
start
for
with
me,
that.
NFC 49ers. I'll make it nice
That's
and
it.
easy. I got the 49ers going to the Super Bowl, straight up.
All right.
Some of it,
Who will they have to beat in the NFC championship to get to the Super Bowl?
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
say said and done. Probably the Eagles beat the Cowboys, so I'm gonna say Niners Eagles.
same people. Yep.
Okay.
Never,
Okay.
never depend on the Cowboys ever.
All right. What about the AFC? Who's going to be in that AFC championship game?
I got Chiefs over the Ravens. Depending
So,
again, it depends how it goes out. Lines up. But I think the
now,
Chiefs Ravens.
and I'm gonna remind you, Pete, just in case it affects your decision. Ravens will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Don't mind
Kansas
that.
City, Kansas City,
go
and
up there
Patrick,
and win, and Dolphins will go up there and win.
Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes will be traveling for the first time in the playoffs.
Once
And
you
they both
said
will go up
Patrick,
there and win.
once you said Patrick Mahomes, you're not going to sway me. You're not going to sway me. I don't bet against him. I don't do that.
And he'll AFC championship.
And if they don't play each other, I'm gonna go Bills Dolphins.
Oh, okay. And who wins that and goes to the Super Bowl? And I still got to get the NFC from you, right? Or
for me, it's Niners. You know that. I'm gonna say Niners Eagles in the NFC Championship game. If not, Niners Cowboys. I got Niners winning it.
Game.
Niners win the whole thing. And then I got Bills Dolphins. I've stuck with it. I got Niners Bills in the Super Bowl.
wow. Okay. Okay.
So
throwback.
the main thing is, to me, the Dolphins.
Yeah, I was just
give
about to say that.
I think it's imperative that the Dolphins not only win the East, just find a way the Bills don't make the playoffs. Because I think they have a solid run in them. Like everything.
So you got Niners Bill. That's an old school like 80s, 90s throwback right there.
They've been in before.
Yeah, somebody used to watch football. Somebody used to watch football in the early '90s and the late '80s.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. I'm not mad at it. Some nostalgia. Nice little nostalgia Super Bowl.
All right, fellas.
I would love to see Chiefs Dolphins though in the AFC Championship, but
you don't think
one.
Mr. Mahomes? You don't have as much faith in Mr. Mahomes as Pete. It sounds like you losing faith in Mr. Mahomes.
I do, but it's for me. It's Kansas City's defense.
I mean, what, first one to 49 wins?
Yeah.
Or is it he can throw the ball, but he can't catch it too? Because they've been dropping the ball from what I've
Darius
been
Jones
hearing.
is having some issues out there, but we'll see.
And he got company. He ain't the only one.
Yeah, but Darius has been heavy on repeat offender.
Yeah, I think he's like leads the league or something like that.
All right, guys.
Exciting times.
Hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Who do you guys think is going to get to the Super Bowl? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, and hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, what's on the radar for the new year? What's on the radar for the new year, 2024? Hill, what's on your radar, man?
NFL, to be fair, the playoffs.
Okay.
Take a step and cross my fingers for my Niners, but each game is going to be exciting.
Okay. P, what's on the radar, man?
No, just promise. I just for all our listeners, new and old, man. Just I just wish everyone the best, and let 2024 be your best year ever. It's more of a well wishes for everybody. Let 2024 be your best year ever. If not, what are we doing? It's
like.
Yeah, definitely echo those sentiments, man. Definitely, everybody have a happy new year and all that good stuff. And like Pete said, let it be your best year. Don't look back. Continue to move forward. What's on my radar? The Reacher season 2 is out. Getting into that. About to show my sci-fi nerd side. Soul Leveling anime is coming out this weekend too, on Crunchyroll. So that's something I'm looking forward to too. A couple of books coming out this month as well. So a lot of stuff to look forward to, man. And plus, NBA All-Stars coming up. So we got to chop it up on that. Trade deadline is coming up soon for the NBA, so we're gonna have to chop it up on that. So I'm looking forward. We got a lot of good things planned for 2024. Gonna get into some entertainment stuff too. Talk about hip hop in all its various forms. So can't wait for 2024. It's here. Can't wait to get started. Can't wait for you guys to check out what we're gonna give to you guys. And like Pete said, hey, let 2024 be your best year. And we're out.
Yeah, we're gonna try to cover some more entertainment. Only if like some kind of controversial stuff has happened. I don't know. Where's Cat Williams? So, oh man.
Somewhere telling the truth somewhere.
Can't take y'all nowhere.
Just somewhere telling the truth somewhere.
He's crazy until he isn't.
Somewhere telling the truth. Still your jokes, huh, Mark Curry?
Hey.
Man. Yeah. Next. Oh man, I don't even want to go. Hey man, let us know, man. Email, tweet us. If your favorite comedian wears a dress, how does that affect you?
Man,
that list is crazy, bro. Crazy. Ah man.
To all our fists, we out of here, man.
Peace. Hope we don't get banned. We out.